Hello everyone, it is good to see you. Today we are going to brutally expose the reality of the massive delusion that keeps Kim Jong-un awake at night, North Korea's strategic nuclear submarine program. Let me give you the conclusion right away. The submarines North Korea currently boasts about are effectively ready for the scrapyard. It is often said that just boarding one of their submarines is such a dangerous endeavor that you would need dozens of life insurance policies. In reality, incidents where dozens of crew members lose their lives at once in submarine accidents are common within North Korea and are systematically covered up. The fact that Kim Jong-un was exceptionally shown visiting the graves of crew members killed in accidents is proof of just how aging and uncontrollable North Korea's submarine force has become. Why is North Korea betting its life on nuclear submarines? There are three pillars that sustain the North Korean regime: intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, miniaturized nuclear weapons, and the final piece of the puzzle, strategic nuclear submarines. ICBMs take time to travel and can be detected and intercepted. Nuclear submarines are different. If they hide deep in the ocean, sneak up to the waters off New York, and fire nuclear missiles, detection is nearly impossible. This, the most powerful dagger to effectively pressure the United States, is the essence of the nuclear submarine Kim Jong-un dreams of. The reality, however, is harsh. Take the recently revealed Hero Kim Geum-hyeok submarine. They grandiosely label it a nuclear attack submarine, but its propulsion system is ultimately outdated diesel. It is so noisy that it's officially nicknamed the underwater cultivator. The most important factors in submarine warfare are quietness and diving capability. South Korea possesses about 30 elite submarines, and its shipbuilding technology is world-class. In contrast, North Korea boasts over 70 vessels, but most are Romeo-class scrap metal built in the 80s. Our military strategy is clear before these aging vessels can even leave port. Our nuclear submarines would set up a blockade right outside their bases. Because nuclear submarines use atomic energy, they can operate underwater for 6 months or a year, as long as they have food supplies. For North Korea, this is like having a massive terror standing right at their doorstep, not even letting them breathe. In particular, the news that President Donald Trump unlocked the shackles on nuclear materials for South Korea's pursuit of nuclear-powered submarines is a fatal threat to Kim Jong-un. For North Korea, making nuclear weapons is the easiest step. Building peaceful reactors is next. And creating miniaturized reactors for submarines is widely considered the most difficult technological challenge. Building a reactor into a cramped space that can withstand immense water pressure and operate stably is an ultra-high-level technology possessed by only a few nations globally. North Korea has been showing off its construction process for 5 years, but to expert ears, it sounds as absurd as the old legend of Kim Il-sung making grenades out of pine cones. Many of you worry, what if North Korea actually succeeds in developing a genuine nuclear submarine and gets right under the nose of the United States? Do not worry. The most realistic scenario is that the moment North Korea succeeds in developing it, the US will eliminate it. The United States will never tolerate a nuclear dagger pointed right at its throat. The moment North Korea completes a nuclear submarine and floats it on the water, there is a very high probability that the US will track it precisely and sink it or take extreme measures, like bombing the factory where the submarine was built. The US has both the capability and the will to do so. Furthermore, we cannot ignore the disparity in economic power, not just technology. South Korea's GDP is 60 times larger than North Korea's. Systemic competition is already meaningless. Submarines cost far more to maintain than to build. The cost of maintaining state-of-the-art equipment and training. Highly skilled personnel would require grinding up North Korea's entire national power, clinging to asymmetric forces like nuclear submarines, when they cannot even compete in conventional forces, is paradoxically evidence of just how deep their sense of inferiority runs. This problem of aging equipment is not limited to submarines. The main fighter jet of the North Korean Air Force, the MiG-21, is a model developed in the early 1960s. Flying aircraft that are over 60 years old is practically elder abuse. While the lack of aviation fuel for training is a problem, North Korea's real struggle is that they cannot entrust the lives of pilots who cost enormous amounts of money to train to these scrap metal planes. Accidents occur within the military far more frequently than we imagine, leading to lowered morale and dissatisfaction with the regime. Kim Jong-un, aided by Putin, is struggling to launch military reconnaissance satellites to catch up with South Korea. But what are the results? South Korea has already successfully placed 5 medium to large satellites into orbit, proving its unique reconnaissance capabilities. North Korea has only launched 1 and is in a situation where they cannot launch any more. Kim Jong-un, trapped in the specter of the 80s. North Korea cannot acknowledge the widened gap and is bringing upon himself the situation of a sparrow tearing its legs trying to keep up with a stork. Overseas naval bases are essential to operate nuclear submarines. But what strategic meaning would it have for North Korea? Lacking even a single overseas base to endure 6 months underwater? Ultimately, Kim Jong-un's dream of a nuclear submarine will become the poison that completely destroys the North Korean economy. Looking at recent construction sites in North Korea's new cities, shoddy construction where buildings go up in 1 or 2 years is rampant. If it were in South Korea, they would collapse immediately. This kind of flashy, show-off politics is also happening with their nuclear submarine construction. Threatening the world with unproven scrap metal no longer works. The speed at which South Korea, with the power of a market economy and overwhelming technology, presents finished products will be much faster, and that will be the real threat. Everyone, I, Geum-hyeok, am now leaving for the United States for further study. Thank you for loving my meager insights all this time. I will return from the US with hotter and sharper information. The key to winning the contest for technological hegemony is not making something first, but knowing how to use it properly. South Korea already knows that path, and North Korea has lost its way. The future of South Korea's national security is bright. This has been Geum-hyeok. Thank you. If you like, snap the subscribe and like button.